tiptoes down, tiptoes on the seams, careful not to step down, taking the seam downtown. There's never quite a stain like the boys downtown. So she aims high, so she aims high, aims high, so she hates like, she wears her maiden name like a rental gown. There's never quite a stain like the boys downtown. So she aims high, so she hates like. Aha! Why do I always write songs that I can't freaking sing? It's once upon her father's grave. It's one dance on her father's grave. For every shot she throws away. So she aims high, so she hates like. It's once upon her father's grave. For every shot she throws away. It's a little bit jazzy. Say what they say, men will say what they say. Cast your arrogance and compliments. She braves the arrogance, braves the arrogance and compliments. 'Cause there's one thing. She'll brave the arrogance and compliments. So there's one thing in your pocket that she'll take. It's the pin money, baby. Then all you get. Pin money, baby. Pin money. At least she's sitting pretty in your pin money, baby. That pin money saves me. That pin money, baby, will buy the house. Buy a nice. That pin money, baby. How hard can love be if it lives in an extravagant house? Material envy. That pin money, material envy. Congratulations. See, I literally told you. Like, if it happens, it happens, and it happened. Don't be scared, it's okay. Go. Pin money, baby. I didn't take voice memos of any of this song, so now I don't know what it is. Her grit and prejudice have led her this far. Her handsome beauty wanes like a distant star. Is wane a word?
1. To decrease in size, extent, or degree, dwindle, such as to diminish in phase or in
How hard can love be if it lives in an extravagant house? Material envy will live and die. Hi, Mom. It's loveless and lovely, sitting pretty in that pin money. Or do I need a repeat of the chorus melody to change the lyrics? Let's call this a rough draft. She wears her maiden name like a borrowed gown. There's never quite a stain like the boys downtown. So she aims high, associates like it's one dance on her father's grave. For every shot she throws away, she'll brave the arrogance and the compliments for that one thing in your pocket that she'll take. That pin money, baby, it's what it's all about. Commitment is easy if it lives in an extravagant house. It's loveless and lovely sitting pretty in that pin money. Her grit and prejudice have led her so far to cash in her handsomeness for some court and spark. So she aims high, they take her bite. You know they're interested when they start to lie. She'll brave the arrogance and compliments, the decision of a lifetime that she'll make is that pin money, baby. That's what it's all about. Commitment is easy if it lives in an extravagant house. Material envy, furnished and proud, dance in the lobby, then recover with a stroll on the grounds. It's loveless and lovely sitting pretty in that pin money. Ooh, it's loveless and lovely sitting pretty in that pin money. What I do after I've written a song is I kind of like give it a rating in my mind. I think the idea for this song is a solid 10 out of 10. I love the storytelling aspect, and I loved that I took it from characters that another author made. And I loved that it's kind of like a girl boss situation where I'm just using you for your money, back off, but also come here. It could be like if I ever wanted to come back to it and just completely finish it, it could be a 10 out of 10. But I'm not so inspired to do that anymore for no reason in particular. But the important part is that I got the idea down, got a framework for the lyrics, basic melody, literally used 2 chords, and pinkied around with them. I came from Pride and Prejudice. Spoiler alert, by the way. Stop watching this video if you haven't read it yet and you want to read it. I originally started writing it about Darcy and Elizabeth, or mostly about Elizabeth, but it turned out to be more of like a Charlotte song, because Charlotte married Mr. Collins for his residence and not so much for his personality. Pin money was one of the terms that was asterisked. And then at the bottom it said the definition. Good gracious, Lord bless me, only think, dear me, Mr. Darcy, who would have thought it? And it really is true? Oh, my sweet Lizzie, how rich and great you will be. What pin money, what jewels, what carriages you will have. And then the asterisk with pin money is money designated for a wife's private use. And I was like, it's kind of sick. I just realized how messy my background is probably. So that was basically the basis for this song that I wanted to go off of. She wears her maiden name like a rental gown. I'm going to change that to borrowed gown because I don't think they had rental gowns back then. I want it to stay somewhat consistent with the time period. Therefore, she never got attached to her maiden name because she knew that her purpose in life is to literally get rid of it and to get married and to hold a man's name. There's never quite a stain like the boys downtown. Boys with less status and less economy are less desirable for her because, you know, she's in it for the money. That's just how it was during the time period, I guess. And I used the stain word because it goes back to the first line with the borrowed gown. The borrowed gown, which is the maiden name, it could be stained because there's a huge theme about reputation. If you end up with the wrong boy, it ruins it for the rest of your family who still has that maiden name of yours, if that made any sense at all. So she aims high, associates like it's one step on her father's grave for every shot she throws away. If there's no other men in your family and your father dies, who's gonna take care of you, who's gonna make money, who's gonna work? Because women didn't. They learned music and they learned manners and to be polite so that they could be wifed up. She'll brave the arrogance and compliments for that one thing in your pocket that she'll take. The one thing in your pocket being money. One critique for that for me would be, I do wonder what the currency was in the Georgian era. Like if they actually kept money in their pockets or if it was more of like, I don't know, a banking system. Was it too early for banking systems? So it's just like those little details and continuities that I really try to pick apart. That pin money baby, that's what it's all about. Commitment is easy if it lives in an extravagant house. That's self-explanatory. Material envy, furnished and proud, dance in the lobby, recover with a stroll on the grounds. When Elizabeth was at Charlotte's house visiting Charlotte and Mr. Collins, like, the furniture is always a big deal. Like, if your furniture is nice, I mean, obviously it means you have a lot of money. I guess it's not that complicated. Oh, and also with the proud thing, since it's about Pride and Prejudice, I just like hiding little clues. And then later on I have prejudice. Loveless and lovely, sitting pretty in that pin money. I love words that contradict each other. I guess it's sort of like an oxymoron, except is it the suffixes kind of do that for it, and it's the same word, so I don't know if you could call that an oxymoron or not. Loveless kind of describes, for me at least, a relationship, whereas lovely is just an adjective that you can use pretty much for anything, so I liked putting those two together. Yeah, I liked that assonance of the sitting pretty in that pin money. I don't know if money fits, but yeah, sometimes it's just about finding a bunch of words that sound kind of the same in the middle. That's assonance. Her grit and prejudice have led her so far to cash in her handsomeness for some court and spark. Court and spark, that comes from Joni Mitchell. Like, court is like date, and then spark is like to fall in love. Cash in her handsomeness for some court and spark. That could also kind of contradict other things that I say in the song, because the whole thing is marrying for money and not love. And so when I say court and spark would be love, and that kind of contradicts everything else, so that's something I would probably work with. So she aims high, they take a bite. You know they're interested when they start to lie, because in the book, I don't know, some people lied about past acquaintances, I guess you could say. That is all I had to say about this song. Thank you so much if you're still watching this. This was a long one, and I spoke in a very monotone voice the entire time because I was in a serious mood. Feel free to give me any suggestions or critiques in the comments on how I can improve my lyricism. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. I'll see you very soon with another video. Love you. Bye.